If you're looking for a Jeskai Commander or you're looking for powerful Jeskai Commander cards, we're here to talk about the first 5 cards to consider when you build your deck. And we're going to get started right now.
Hello and welcome to The Day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. Before we get started, if you're looking for the latest decks and strategy for Pioneer, Historic, Commander, Standard, and Brawl, you want to talk about MTG Finance news and specs, or you just want to see us open some booster packs, consider subscribing before you leave the video, in which we're going to talk about Jeskai in Commander. Jake, what do you think of Jeskai overall?
I think it's fun. It's red, white, and blue. It's the chaos colors. It's the deck at the table that's always doing something weird. It offers a lot of different commander. Excuse me. It offers a lot of different commanders. So you're going to see a lot of legendary creatures today, and I'm ready to get into it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of it, first up, Elsha of the Infinite. Comes with Prowess, which is probably not going to be super impactful, but it's the rest of the text on this card that I love. You can look at the top card of your library at any time, and you can cast that card if it's a non-creature, non-land, so like sorcery, instant, enchantment, things like this, and you may cast it as though it had flash. That is just so tight to be able to build around.
Yeah, it's a brutal card, and I think it's super fun. And yeah, again, it's velocity. We always talk on this channel about velocity and that telepathy, that revealing the top, that very blue effect of the card. It's super fun. Just being like at EOT, we're gonna cast this one thing, and the fact that it's just you who's looking at the top card, so there's no information for the opponent, is what makes it good, and the reason that I think it's on this list.
Right. Yeah, I consider casting Oblivion Ring at instant speed at the end of your opponent's turn, right
in
before
response
you go
to an attack or something. Yeah,
exactly. I just love the idea of doing that. It's very, very Jeskai of this commander. Next up, we've got Pramikon, Sky Rampart. This is a little bit of a new card, but when I saw it for the first time, I just fell in love with it. Number 1, the art is dope. Shout out to Richard Wright. Number 2, it is just your Jeskai colors, white, red, blue across the top. But you've got a flying defender that's going to act as a wall of saying, nope, you can only attack that way, or nope, you have to attack that way. Sorry.
It's a very political card.
Yep.
They took a popular way of playing Commander, which is, I forget the name of it, but I'm pretty sure it's an expletive, where you have to only attack a certain person in a certain direction.
Right.
So they took this fun variant of Commander that people have come up with, and they put it on a card, and I think it's really cool. Again, Jeskai, it's such fun colors because you get all of these weird chaotic effects, and obviously this card is no exception.
No, yeah, you see a lot of political effects like that, and it's fun to build a deck that is completely political or almost random. It almost made this list, but Ruhan of the Fomori didn't quite make the cut, but that's another one where it's kind of political but mostly random, and it's just kind of a fun chaos way of playing.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, we've got Numot the Devastator. When we're making these lists of the Shards before we get into the 2-color guilds, the Shards each have a dragon like this that represents each of them. This is the only one for me that's made the list because it's very political, because it's destroying 2 lands when it deals combat damage to a player. It doesn't say destroy 2 target lands that player controls. So I can say, Jake, I'm going to swing at you, let this through, because Ricky over there's got 2 lands that are screwing us over.
Cabal Coffers is really getting out of hand.
Right. Yeah, and I'm about to screw Ricky over if you just let Numot smack you in the face.
Yeah, no, I get that. And if it's a brutal enough game, I might be like, yeah, sure, come on through. We need to take care of that.
Right.
If that's going to be the only way it happens, then that's going to be the way it happens.
Right, somebody's got Besieger who shelters all. Nothing is being able to be stopped from entering the battlefield, and no spells can be countered, And so it's like, all right, Numot has just got to get through. I'm going to nuke that land. Don't even worry about. I really like that dragon. Here's a split card, a fuse card, if you will. I turned it on its side so we can read it a little better.
I love that.
And release. Catch and release for 9 mana total. You get to gain control of a permanent, which I think is huge. So you can take a planeswalker. Then each player sacks an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, a land, and a planeswalker. So you can sacrifice whatever you stole, make that your choice, and force everybody else to sack some stuff as well. Obviously, you're going to get caught in the crossfire, but I mean, it's a small price to pay.
Yeah, it's a really cool card. I think it exemplifies kind of like what we're going for here, which is the versatility that Jeskai offers. And I like this card a lot. I like being able to take something, sacrifice that as the second part of the card, and then watch the brutality unfold, because there's a lot of sacrifice going on here.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that it forces it too, because a lot of times in Commander, you might see across the battlefield from you like one planeswalker, maybe two. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of lands, maybe only one or two enchantments, maybe only one or two artifacts or creatures. But a lot of times that planeswalker thing, if somebody's got one good planeswalker that they've played out, you might just want to cast it just for the 6 mana and make everybody, we're going to catch an artifact, creature, enchantment, and land per player in the crossfire. But if we just got to deal with that planeswalker, let's get it done, So it's got a little bit of like targeted versatility on it.
Yep. I like versatility.
Absolutely. Zedruu the Greathearted, or Zedruu the Greathearted, is next up. This is an old one. This came out in the original set of Commander decks, if I'm not mistaken, and has a little bit of a weird ability.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a build around. So there's cards in Magic the Gathering like Delusions of Mediocrity and stuff like this that do negative effects when you play them. And so the whole point around this card, and this is kind of like, in my mind, the OG Jeskai Commander. It came out during the original Commander Political Puppets, I believe in 2011. This card is so silly, and in the right build, it just does nutty things. You just play cards that hurt you, and then you gift them to your opponents. And so it's a really interesting card. And it offers a lot of velocity. It's life gain. It's really annoying. It's super pesky. It's cheap. So if it gets removed, you can play it over and over and over again.
Right.
If you're looking for a trolly chaotic commander, look no further. It's this Minotaur monk.
Our buddy had a build of this, and there would be times when, maybe he hadn't drawn one of those self-inflicting wound cards so that he could pass that off to another player, but he just would toss a land over or toss an artifact that's not going to get removed, something that's going to stick, and that would just be a case for him to draw more cards and gain life at the beginning of his turn, because he had passed out all these things, and suddenly, at the beginning of each turn, he's refilling his hand, and we're like, we can't keep up with this.
That's a good point, because sometimes he'd be like, hey, you need an attacker? Here's this whatever.
Right.
Take this.
Here's a wall. Have it.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah. And so now you have these permanents, or it's like, hey, I think you need something over there that you can use. It's, again, another political card. It came out in Political Puppets. So that's an important format of, or variant of Commander, is the political structure of like a chaotic game of it always happens in our play group, Joel, where we find ourselves in these political games where people are making deals, and it's kind of a headache, but it's also a great time.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And Jeskai has got no lack of political intrigue to go along with it. We really appreciate everybody watching. That brings us to the end of our Jeskai tribe, or shard, whatever you want to call it, coverage of top 5 in Commander, first 5 in Commander. If you liked the video, if you wouldn't mind hitting like, hitting subscribe, it really helps us out. If you want to support us further, we've got a Patreon. The link is down in the description below. If you want to hang out with us, we're streaming most Tuesday and Thursday evenings over on Twitch. Jake, I'm getting real quick at saying that.
Yeah, man. You're doing great things. You're doing wonderful things with your life.
I'm tapped out. We'll catch you later.
See ya on the flippity. See ya later, warehouse.